These are Ukrainian soldiers moving fast and quiet to deal with a threat, an explosive mine left on a road. All of it a practice run for what they're facing every day on the front lines.
All right, off we go.
This training requested by Ukraine, conducted in the safety of next-door Poland, delivered by Canadian combat engineers.
It was good to see the hastiness of everything, how it went out.
These soldiers will be back on the front lines within days. Back in what is now one of the most mined countries on Earth, 30% of Ukraine now littered with buried explosives.
This is the trench, so we have to be careful walking here.
We're along with Senior Private Sologub, the only Ukrainian whose face we're permitted to show. The explosive danger comes from booby traps too.
Looking for tripwires.
When the Russians leave, they'll often booby trap the bodies of their dead, scatter mines out in the open, and sometimes place explosives in laptops, phones, even food left in trenches.
I asked her to take a shot of me, Jean.
So the Canadian trainers are mocking up messy trenches with fake explosives to ensure the Ukrainians are ready.
For a lot of us, will be the pinnacle of our careers up until the point. So it means a lot to us. We know that the training we're providing is having a serious effect on the battlefield. Ukraine is littered with mines and unexploded ordnance that will be there for years to come. So the skills that we're teaching here will enable Ukraine to clean up.
Now, as dangerous as booby traps and mines are in a trench system like this, in Ukraine, they're all over farmers' fields, which has a deep impact even after the war.
This was Europe's breadbasket, a massive agricultural nation with fields now filled with landmines placed by both Russians and Ukrainians. No one has any idea where all of them are, and there are hundreds of thousands out there.
You have worked around the world in multiple countries that have mines littering the grounds. How does Ukraine compare?
The contamination in Ukraine is massive. The difference, though, is the complexity.
Canadian Jasmine Dan is with the mine clearing charity Halo Trust, known for its work and connection to Princess Diana, who championed landmine removal and saw firsthand the devastation wrought from their use.
One down, 17 million to go.
Firing.
War has forced Halo Trust's work to grow. They'll soon have 1,200 mine-clearing staff in Ukraine, often focused on restoring land so families can return, till fields, earn a living.
So I spent the last 2 weeks down in Mykolaiv, in a town near Snigurivka. While I was there, a woman was walking down with her cow, and this is the area where she brings her cow to graze almost every day. And walking right along the line of mines, which if that cow had taken one more step to the left, would have killed it as well as the woman. So it feels quite good to know that those mines are now gone. She can safely walk her cow, and the farmer who plows the field right next to it can also do his job safely.
But war fighting supersedes all other Ukrainian concerns now. The Canadians training on first aid under fire.
My leg! Yeah, my leg!
There is much learning on how to save lives, but also how to prevent injuries in the first place.
Right, so just a little bit of weight on it.
Using ropes and a shovel to open a door.
That's simple, okay?
That sound showing this was a booby trap. A soldier opening the door would have been killed.
It might not look like anything, it's just a pile of rocks, but just a little bit of movement was enough to actually function that, okay?
Another explosive hidden near rocks, dangers everywhere designed to maim or kill. Long after this war ends, whenever and however that is, Ukraine will be riddled with an explosive legacy, one that's likely to take a decade or longer to clear.
So, David, I think your characterization of landmines in Ukraine is spot on, but this also seems like training they need not today, but yesterday.
Yeah, no question about that. And that was the Ukrainian army asked for the Canadians to get going on this as quickly as possible. It's also their need for tomorrow. It will be ongoing that this training continues because they need it so much. And there is learning from the Canadians. Places like here, CFB Comox on Vancouver Island, similar combat engineers who might themselves end up in environments where landmines exist. They are learning from the Ukrainians about what they're facing in what is now one of the most riddled countries on earth for these explosive devices, Adrienne.
All right, David Common, thank you.